Hey everyone, this is OotiniCast episode 450. I can hear the thing going, so that's good. I will tweet this out. This is the raw version of the show, shown with any flubs or errors intact. Then we will take the audio, clean it up a bit, hopefully correct anything that needs correcting, and then we put that out as a podcast tomorrow. So that is the idea. We are streaming live. Let me go ahead and send a tweet out so that the whole world knows we're going.
Is that you? Knocking?
Me? Me, Kitty, or is someone else knocking? Oh, it sounds like someone else is knocking.
It's a bird on the roof.
Oh.
He's like, knock, 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 knock.
All right, I tweeted it out. That's funny. So like a woodpecker or something?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's like probably a crow because we have a bunch of
there's a lot of crows in Portland too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of walnut trees over here.
Oh.
And man,
they like to knock them against the wall to break them open.
Trying to open them and stuff.
Interesting. That makes sense. Okay, I've got it all going here. And we're almost at the top of the hour. We should vamp for a little bit and then go in less than 2 minutes.
All right, I am going.
So, yeah. So, cross fingers for your email. Not that we should talk about it anymore right now, but yeah, sounds so. Yeah, and then you've been busy. That sounds like I saw that in the show notes that you've been busy. So I'm looking forward to hearing what's been going on. And how is the 3? Have you done streams on the 3 PC setup now?
Yet.
Okay. So we'll talk about that too. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw the tweet that you were, that it was pretty much all set up and your Nexu was helping you.
Yeah. What sucks is that, I sent that out and I bet, BioWare's like, look at this putz. He's working on his computer. He's right there. Why don't you just come into the call?
Oh, was it right around that time? That's funny.
It's just I used to have this big calendar, and I would look at the calendar every day when I woke up. But we moved stuff around.
Right.
Oh well.
All right. We're basically right at the top of the hour now, so I think we're good to go. And let me have a little water, and if you're ready to go, I'm ready. And I think you are.
We're going to take our shirts off.
Yeah. I've been getting back into guitar a little bit.
Ooh. Oh,
yeah. Because we can talk about that if you want in the show. Not that it's very SWTOR related, but anyway.
We'll learn the Emperor's March.
All right, so here we going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast, the podcast that's out of the greeny green Revnog. This is episode 450, being recorded on Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. I'm your host, Chill, and with me is my co-host, KittyKissz. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Chill. How's life?
Doing great. Did you understand the reference this week?
I did indeed.
Yep. It's been a good show. We've both been watching Andor. I think I am caught up now. I'm never sure because I never watch it on the day because I always watch it with my wife, and she never grew up with TV, and so she's not big on like binging things. Really? Yeah. Her family, they weren't like one of those families that was like against TV. I don't think too much. It's just they just weren't into it. Which is weird. It seems weird to me, but I was your typical TV-aholic kid from growing up in the 70s and 80s. But
latchkey kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially once we were in Idaho. Yeah, I was very much a latchkey kid. So anyway, we've been having a lot of fun watching Andor. But go ahead and tell us what you've been up to in game since the last episode.
Well, I've been pretty busy in real life. Kitty is, I think we talked about this before, but we're painting the bathroom.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
The color scheme, Kitty realized that it's very Hoth-like.
Oh,
So
okay. Is it like
we've
light blue?
Yeah, we've decided to do a Hoth themed bathroom.
Nice. Well, we know she does art. Is she going to do like a tauntaun or something?
No. She also found these prints. So I'm assuming we're probably going to get the prints. We were kind of just joking about it. And then one of my friends, Rob, he sent us a Hoth bathroom set. So it's got a shower curtain and all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
I put it in. I tweeted it a little earlier. So if anybody's interested.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, I'll have to look for that.
It's on Instagram and Twitter, but yeah, it looks great.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm kind of excited about it, now, but so that's the thing. And that's not necessarily what's been keeping me busy. I mean, Kitty's been doing the lion's share of if not all of the stuff in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But life gets busy.
Yes.
You're old and time goes so much faster, or at least it seems like it goes a lot faster than it used to.
It absolutely does. Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It's crazy. But one of the projects where I think we're almost completely done with is that we are resetting up our 3 PC streaming setup.
Okay.
And this time around has been a lot easier.
Oh, that's good.
Because we worked out a bunch of bugs and a lot of stuff seems to be, I think, because you've already done it once.
That makes sense.
And
last time weren't you also changing over from OBS to something else last time as well? Or
yes.
And this time you're using OBS. And
OBS Studios, and I just transferred the files.
And that seems to be a lot easier.
So easy.
Is it capturing things? Does it seem to be capturing things well for you?
Yeah, it captures things great.
That's cool.
My whole setup, which took a long time to kind of do because, when you're streaming, you kind of, or at least the way that I stream, I'm constantly adding stuff to it. And this gave me an opportunity to take stuff away that I wasn't using. So I figured, if I'm having to redo it, I might as well clean some stuff up, get rid of some stuff. I can always put it back in later. But so that's been interesting. And then reprogramming the Stream Deck, because it's real picky about where the files are located. But it's been pretty easy. Like today I spent quite a long time just kind of figuring out the Stream Deck stuff, but it seemed to port over a lot of the stuff on Stream Deck that worked with what I ported over with OBS. It's just some of the audio stuff and video stuff is a little wonky, but no problem. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We're going to take it on our maiden voyage tomorrow morning, so we'll see what happens.
Exciting.
Is it going to be happy times, or is it going to be temper times? Tune in tomorrow.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Excellent. I am noticing for whatever reason, every once in a while on your screen, there's like a green flash. Like instead of your face, it flashes green. Maybe sometimes it happens more often. And right now, like just now, it happened like 3 times over the course of like 5 seconds. And then it's only once every 10 seconds. And then it just did it again. So I'm not sure what that would be.
I don't know either.
Because it's green flash, I'm wondering if it's... But you're not using a green screen program right now?
Or no, not at all. No.
That's weird. Okay. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
Okay. I have no idea.
At least we'll give you a heads up about it anyway.
We'll see what happens.
It doesn't seem to be affecting your audio at all, so it shouldn't be a problem for the podcast, so that's good.
That's good. In SWTOR, I've been playing some Season 3, and I'm enjoying it very much.
Yeah.
I like the new companion.
Okay.
I love her electric tummy.
Yes, with the effect.
Draws my eyes.
Yeah, not only does it have an effect, but I've noticed that when you preview the other ones, they have different effects.
Oh, no way. I didn't even check that out yet.
Yeah. So the normal one, it's like a little circle that goes inward.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one that's sort of like a radar sweep, like a single line that goes around in a circle. And then there's another one that's sort of like a double, but also sort of like an double arcing radar sweep sort of thing. And I can't remember what the final one was. I think it was maybe kind of swirling or spiral in some way.
Oh, that's cool.
Can't remember what the fourth one was exactly, but yeah. Nice. But they gave each of them different effects. Also, I can't think of too many companions that have that sort of thing where there's just sort of like an effect going off all the time on somewhere on their body.
Yeah. I can't either. I can't even think of one.
Yeah, I think this is the first one as far as I know. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. I like the way she looks, but that electric tummy, that's where it's at. Yeah, I'm taking my time in Galactic Seasons because the first year that the Galactic Seasons came out, I went
all out. Yeah.
And then it was over, and then I missed it. I was, oh man, I really would wish the Galactic Seasons was still here. It is here, dummy. You just
blew through it. Yeah.
so last year, Galactic Seasons 2, I decided to just play normal.
Right.
To not try and make it a thing. And I still ended early. So I'm gonna do that.
Yep.
Which is super fun. But when I log in, I'll look and see what's going on, and I might kind of go do some missions just for the sake of doing it. But I'm not going to beat my head against the wall trying to get stuff done. And for me, that's just way more fun. So looking, that's all good. Okay, this one I geared up to 330 from the Hyde and Zeke vendors.
Oh, nice.
Which was really cool. And so I unlocked that blue 330 gear. What are they? The modules and the armor and the enhancement and stuff. And I went and gave a bunch of my level 80 main alts all armor so that I don't have to keep switching it every time I go
swapping. That's cool.
Yeah, I have one set that's all ogged out and stuff, but the rest of them are just kind of 330.
Right, for dailies or if anytime you don't have to be completely min-maxed. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you find the process? Did it take a long time to get through all their things, all their missions and stuff?
I had just from playing, I had a bunch of the Flashpoint currency. So after I got that one piece of gear from a Flashpoint, I could pretty much just buy it. I just
nice.
Kept buying it up. And so it didn't take me long at all. And then unlocked that and boop, got it.
That's cool.
And it's awesome. It's great.
I have not tried that one yet. Yeah. I remember it came out not too long ago and it was, but it seems like a nice way to go.
They have, all the amenities that you need for main hands, off hands, and armor pieces. They just don't have earpiece, relics, and implants. But
you do that the other way. Yeah.
It's a time saver. And it only costs you 100,000 credits per piece, which nowadays is not bad at all. So
yeah, it's not bad.
I didn't break the bank to set up a bunch of characters with, the 7-piece gear set, the head, chest, all that stuff. So
yeah,
lazy points for me.
Yeah, good stuff.
What's another thing? Kitty and I have been really enjoying Andor. And we watch it, on the evening of the day it drops.
Nice.
And we're looking forward to Tales of the Jedi tomorrow. It's going to be a double whammy.
Yeah, I'll have to see if my wife is interested in that or not. I think she might be, but we'll see. And if she's not, then I will just watch it on my own for sure.
Yeah, it's from what I understand, it's only like 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But man, I'm looking forward to that. Qui-Gon is one of my favorite characters, and being able to see him when he was Dooku's Padawan is
that's gonna be cool. Yeah,
there's
gonna be a lot of cool ones. Yeah,
and I hope it goes into his kind of reasoning for leaving the Jedi or whatever. Who knows what we get? But
right. I would hope it at least would sort of hint towards it or something.
Yeah. It would be cool. And I wanted to give everybody a warning. I pilfered a bunch of candy from work, and I am going to be eating it throughout the stream. So forgive me for the chomping and the periodic sugar spikes.
There we go. Is it all? Yeah. Is it all peanut butter cups, or is it other stuff too?
Oh, we got Kit Kats and peanut butter cups. So
those are both classics.
It's so good.
Yeah, I am a sucker for a good peanut butter cup. Even though I don't necessarily buy a lot of them, but if they're there, I will definitely have them. It's actually one of the reasons I try not to buy Halloween candy ahead of time, because I will eat it. I just my willpower doesn't work that way. My willpower is the willpower not to buy it in the first place. And if it fails there,
right,
it's gone.
All bets off.
Yeah, exactly. So
I got to work at 4:30 this morning, and there was a huge bowl of candy.
Yep.
And I just stuffed it in my mouth. I didn't eat any till I was done with work. So
very nice.
I was eating candy at like 9:30 in the morning though.
Yep. Kitty Treats is saying that's how her willpower works too. So yeah, I think that's more the human thing. I think humans are kind of wired that way, where it's like if it's food of a kind that that your body craves, and it's like right in the house, or worse, like right beside you, good luck stopping yourself from eating it. The best way is to keep it out of the house in the first place.
That is the best. That's the best way. That's the only way that works for me. And I've so far haven't had any pumpkin pie this pumpkin pie season.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see what happens.
Is that a big favorite of yours?
It's my favorite.
Nice.
I love pumpkin pie and lots
it's good stuff. Yeah. And, I like it too, and that's one of the things I like about it, is that you really usually only get it this time of year. You get it a few times, and then it kind of goes away. You can make it the rest of the year, but no one does. And so for me, it has lots of Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's sort of vibes to it, which is nice. Yeah,
the during the pandemic, I think there was a couple months where I ate 2 or 3 pumpkin pies in the month, just to myself.
That's a lot of pumpkin pie.
And that's where I got my COVID curves.
Did you put anything on it? Do you like whipped cream or anything?
Oh, tons of whipped cream. I like so much whipped cream that you can't even see the slice.
That sounds really good, actually. Yeah, I like it too. I like real whipped cream. I do not like Cool Whip. Can't eat it.
I'll do Cool Whip. I'll do whatever.
You'll do everything? Yeah.
I'll do whatever.
There's just something about the flavor of it I just don't dig with.
I did mistakenly buy, I think it was a mint Cool Whip.
Interesting.
I just kind of grabbed it and didn't read it like a dummy and brought it home, and it was a lot. But like you said, it's home. You have to eat it. Dipping cookies in it. But that's about it for me, Chill.
All right, then. Let's see. Let's get a little... we got the list of folks. Again, Twitch does its list pretty weird now, but here's who's showing in the list right now. 152 Dominoes here. Alice C. Dre, Bodie, Beware 2, Discord Streamer Community. That's interesting. Gator Skull 1289, Kyriax, Kitty Treats is here, of course. Riru's here, and Tsunami Safari are all here. Hello, everyone. Let me see if I can go back to chat. And I always like to check real quick to see if there's anyone like Bodie's here. There we go. All right. So hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Let's see. So one thing I did, especially shortly after the last stream, was I did a couple of sessions in the French client. So getting back into that a little bit. It's a lot of fun. I find it very straining mentally. Just I can only do it for a little over like an hour or so, and then my brain is just completely like fried. I do try to record. I do try to translate everything aloud, which means I have to, and like I have like the little thing where it'll show you what the dialogue was. So if you miss it, you can go back and check it out again. And yeah, it's very brain draining. I'm just not good enough at French for it to come very naturally or easily, so it's tricky, but it's a lot of fun. It still is a lot of fun, and I definitely feel good after doing it. It's like I feel like it's like, okay, so there's some words that I recognize. I maybe learned a couple words new, usually involving murder or something like that. But
why murder?
Well, it's all about like cible is target. I learned words that you would never learn from like a French standard French classroom doing SWTOR.
But I thought that maybe you learned to speak French from a horror novel.
Yeah, that's the other way. That'd be the other way to get some of these words in. But it works really well. And like I've said before, I've tried using like movies, but the problem is like a lot of times movies, I'll try to put it in French language with French subtitles so I can actually because I definitely won't be able to do it just from the sound. But the problem is a lot of them will do French language, and then the subtitles will not, even though they're in French, they're like using different translations or whatever, and they're actually not matching. And that's even harder for someone like me who's trying to learn. So that never worked. But SWTOR works because exactly what they say verbally is exactly like they say on the screen, which, and it's the same in English. Like I always keep the English subtitles going too because I'm streaming. And I even expand them to try to make them a little easier if people are watching them on a phone or whatever. And, like the subtitles are exactly what people say, like, well, at least 99% of the time. There's occasional weirdness, but yeah, so it makes it a lot better, and it's very, very cool. And it's just fun, like, learning, like, oh, that's the word for cool down or whatever. So it's like, it's something de utilisation. Yeah, how often can you reutilize it is basically the phrase that gets used instead of cool down. But anyway, it's really cool. But I didn't do it after the last update, like a week ago. And the reason being, for whatever reason, when that one loaded, even though it wasn't adding that much to the game, like, maybe, a little bit, I'm sure, but not tons. But for some reason, it temporarily took a huge number of extra gigs, because I had like 20 gigs free, which isn't a ton, but it should be more than enough to get an update going.
Oh, yeah. But
the download stopped because my SSD filled up, because for whatever reason, it was doing like all this extra stuff. I don't know why. So good news, if your SSD fills up, you can actually delete things on it, and your SWTOR client will then automatically notice that it has more room, and it will recommence the download.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Still, it made me a little gun shy about reloading the French client, because that does take a lot of extra gigs because of all the extra voices and stuff, and also deleting there's like a little movie section, and you can tell which ones are the French ones because it actually has a little FR French thing in there. So I actually deleted that to actually make room to get the regular client going again. So I'm a little gun shy about reloading the French client at this point, but I probably will try it again. But yeah, so that's what happened. But it's kind of cool to know, if your hard drive or SSD fills up while you're trying to download SWTOR, you can delete a few things or move them to another drive, and it will notice that there's more space, and it'll keep going. And then once you've actually done that, so there's enough, then you're good to go.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. That's convenient.
Yep.
Because that would suck. Wait every time.
Yeah, exactly. It would, for sure. So my Jason from Friday the 13th cosplay, he's now level 80. Just got it 80 a couple days ago. So what I decided to do is I took him all the way through Ziost, right up before Kotfi Kotet. I skipped Kotfi Kotet and took it as far forward as you can go, which you also skip Iokath and what I call the Trader's Trilogy. And then you go to Osis. And and remember, like last couple shows, I was leveling She-Hulk by doing the chapters, and the chapters are really, really bad for leveling. They give you hardly any experience at the end of the chapter, and not great during the chapter either. It's really poor. And then and then when you go to Osis, it's like you're gaining like huge chunks of a level, even though I was like over 70. Like it was still giving me like huge chunks of a level every time there was a mission turn, and it got really fast, super fast. And then I did the Onslaught stuff, which was, Ondron, Meksha, Corellia, and by the time I got done with that, I was 80. So no problem. So there's still a little bit of story left to go, all the Legacy of the Sith stuff, but also the sort of end of Onslaught stuff as well. So I'm going to keep going on him, especially since we haven't even hit Halloween yet. So it's still, still October. So we'll keep going on him for fun. Yeah, today I just did a little quick stream since I knew I didn't have a ton of time before the OotiniCast. So I did Find a Findsman because I skipped it, but that unlocks Find a Findsman. And then once I'd done that, I was able to get back Story Companions. Which is always fun, except for doing Zalek, which is never fun because you have to do the whole thing to get Zalek back, even though he's on, even though it's one of the story companions for the Inquisitor, which is what Jason is story-wise. He's a Juggernaut ability-wise, but an Inquisitor story-wise, which actually works really well for him. But like Taylor Strelick, you get to just walk up to, and he's like, "Will you help me do it?" "No, you got to come with me now." And then you just go, and he's your companion again. You don't have to do the whole thing. Yeah, if you've ever gotten Taylor Strelick the hard way, it takes a while. There's a lot to do on Yavin 4 with him. But if he's your story companion, you can just force him to just come with you.
He's one of my favorites.
No, just come. He's fun. He's a lot of fun. Oh, yes. We must not forget our past. Yeah. All that stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Write this down. He's great. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and
I like his body type too. He's got this little tiny.
He's like
body
the body size one male. Yeah. Exactly.
I even have an outfit. I can't remember the name of it, but a specific outfit that
you like to put him in.
Fits him perfectly.
Nice. Is it very like Imperial, or is it something else?
No, it's more of what you would think of an archaeologist to wear.
Oh, okay.
Not very Indiana Jonesy, but lots of pockets
and pouches, sort of thing.
All kinds of crap all over him.
Nice. All right. So Jason's in Juggernaut dot spec, and it feels really good on him, as well as kind of appropriate for the character. There's some interesting options on it. Like I like the one where your Force Scream, it hits the first target, and then it's a cone. It becomes a cone behind it. It's a little tricky, but it's kind of fun once you get used to it. It's like, okay, make sure you're targeting the close one, or retarget if you have to, and then hit in a line, and it keeps you moving in the fights a lot. So it keeps things interesting. The dot spread is relatively simple, using your smash ability or the variation on it that comes later. And then it's good enough there, and then right towards the end, like the last two things, like 73 and 78, like really make everything gel, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's like, and then it's like, okay, now like you have some reset things and stuff like that. The tactical is really nice. I have the one where when you use Ravage, it forces the dots to tick, and it also refreshes their durations. Which is really nice. Yeah, it's a really, really nice sort of quality of life, as well as a lot more single target damage. It also, the dots on the spec compared to some of the other dot specs in the game are very, very short. There's 2 6-second dots and a 12-second dot. And so having an actual refresh, and I don't think there's any other easy way to refresh them. The cooldowns aren't very long because they're only a little bit longer than the dots themselves. So you can kind of keep the dots going, but you have to reuse those abilities over and over again. So it's nice to have a proper refresh, so that you have, so they have a few other globals if you wanted to do something else.
Was that a tactical? Or was
that's a tactical. That's a tactical.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I hope
if you don't have that tactical, you won't get that. Yeah, that effect. Okay. You'll get something else. Like the other main tactical that gets used, it's some sort of AOE. It improves. I think that's right. When your dots crit, then your smash comes back off cooldown by 1 second.
Okay.
It lowers the cooldown of it by a second. So it's like you get smashes all the time, essentially. So basically it's an AoE tactical that time, because you're just going to be smash, and a bunch of dots will go off, and you get to smash again like 2 or 3 globals later, probably. Yeah, so liking that a lot. Having a lot of fun. Yeah, Season 3, I'm like level 10 right now. I didn't get all the way 7 of 7, but I got like 5 of them. And I did push a little bit because, as it turns out, like because I was doing all the story stuff, that included Prelude to Shadow of Revan and some other stuff that counted as flashpoints. So there's 2 flashpoint ones this last week, and I ended up just doing some extra flashpoint stuff to finish it up. So, yeah. Good. So actually what I did is I couldn't get all the way to, Spirit of Vengeance, which was like the one for that one weekly. Right. So what I did is I was 6 of 8, and it's like, you know what? I got on my main, the one that happened to be in the stealth spec, and then I just did Red Reaper twice. Going back to like, I don't know, right. Kotet, I think it was, when it was like that was like the main way you would use to get your all your gear and stuff, was like running Red Reaper like 50 to 100 times. It's funny how I forgot a couple of details. Like the first time I ran it, was like I forgot you have to, on the final boss, you have to like do the interrupt on the little guy so that he becomes vulnerable. It's like, why isn't he becoming invulnerable? Am I doing something wrong? And it's like, oh yeah, someone in chat said, yeah, you got to interrupt. And it's like, oh, right, the interrupt. And then I got it, and that was fine.
I actually, I've been playing a lot of my sniper just so I can have multiple characters to conquest, so I can get those. Mm-hmm. I can't think of what they are right now, but anyway. And
like the boxes from Conquest?
The fragments.
The tech fragments. Okay.
Tech fragments, right. So and that was my main for several years, and when I was doing a lot of operations. And man, that muscle memory is a crazy thing, because it didn't, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes into playing, I'm just like,
right.
My muscle memory just remembered everything.
Right.
It's like, waiting on that, bam.
Okay, what's your sniper spec? Is it like marksman, or is it
marksman? Yeah,
marksman. Yeah,
marksman. And
I can see, especially that one. It's very rotational. It's super rotational. Yeah,
which is kind of the same way that Jug and Guardian are too. They're very rotation heavy. So,
yeah.
But man,
so I could see muscle memory coming right back. Yep. Follow through. Follow through.
Yep.
Follow
Stand
through.
Up, squat down.
Right. Oh, you have that thing. Yeah, you'd make that choice so that you just
stand up, squat down.
Get the instant off.
You got to get that instant cast.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So I think that's good. We'll get on to the tip of the week, and the tip of the week is from me. So what I've been doing is, we talked about this in season 2, which is like log on to make characters on all the other servers, log in, and if you do that, you can get season points. You can still do that in this one. If you log in 4 times over the course of a week and you're a subscriber, you'll get 8 points. So that's basically 2 whole levels of the current season. If that's all you want to do, that's fine. But I'm taking it a bit further this time. Because I did all those logging in on season 2, I already had some characters sort of set up, and they were still stuck at level 1. But then what happened is I just, to keep in the habit, I was since even when season 2 no longer was around, I was still logging in every day, but then my inventory was getting full. It's like, well, what am I going to do about that? Am I going to just make another character, or what am I going to do? What I decided to do is, on the other 3 servers, fourth server, Darth Malgus, is it Darth Malgus? I can't remember right off the top of my head. Anyway, the other 3 servers where I really only have the one character that I've been logging on to, it's like, okay, I'll just do the first planet, get to level 10, and then I can go to the fleet, and then I have, I could just have a bank to open, basically.
Right.
Storage facility, and because that gets unlocked with cartel coins, you actually do have it available to you, but you have to get to level 10, so you can actually get to the fleet first. So I've actually done that sort of like over the course of the last few weeks, even before season 3 dropped, I've been doing that. And so they were level 10. They were sort of on the fleet. And then what I found is, you know what, I think I can actually do this. And so I did. I've been doing it like every day. So I basically just get 25,000 conquest points on each of those 3 servers. And if you do that, you're going to have the daily, which is equivalent of half a level times 7. Right. So that's 3.5 levels. And then you're going to get 8 points for logging in if you're a subscriber. So 3.5 levels becomes 5.5 levels. And then there's 20 weeks. You're basically right there. I did the math a little more fancily in my show notes, but it basically works out that if you do this from the start, or even from start for week 2, like if someone wants to take this and start right now, you can actually get the whole thing done doing nothing but logging into one character, getting 25,000 conquest points and calling it a day, and just make it, as long as you're consistent. So here's some hints to help make that happen. Because I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't do this if I wasn't a sub. There's some cool things on the free track, but it probably is not worth going to this kind of trouble. So get a character to level 10, get to the fleet. There you go. So that's sort of the first thing. After that, a lot of days you don't even have to do too much, and you can actually be done pretty quickly on one server. But occasionally you might have to do some extra stuff to like run back to the planet, get a few conquest points because you just don't have enough going yet. So the main thing is level up a companion with gifts. That's a good amount of conquest points. Also, if you open a stronghold, it both counts that day as a good chunk of conquest points, because there are actually conquest points for opening or unlocking part of a stronghold. So just do one a day on a server so that you get the points, but you don't waste, like the future days where you could do it again.
Right.
And the strongholds also then increase your conquest bonus, so it makes it easier.
Okay.
So in the future, so that's the other thing. Now, if you're I had the advantage that I was already logging onto these characters a lot, so I was getting occasional credit vouchers as daily login rewards and other things. So I had some credits, and I was able to unlock some stuff. But the other thing that you can do is, first of all, you're getting scrap, blue, green, and purple scrap, and then you can go to the Java vendor on the fleet, buy gifts. That way you have gifts to give to your companion to increase their influence. So that's one way to do it. If you want to do the new companion, you're going to have to also further take the character through the capital world to get your ship, because the companion shows up on your ship. So if you want to do that, you're going to have to do extra work on each server, but that's fine. But where to get all these credits to unlock unlock these strongholds? Well, there's the first one's pretty cheap. The Coruscant or Drummond Cost one is relatively inexpensive, but the unlocks do add up. And one thing though you can do is there's a couple of things to do about that. First of all, on the dailies, sometimes you're going to get crew skills. Crew skills sell very well on the GTN. They're quite expensive on the GTN, so people do buy them. I've been getting multiple ones sold each day. You're only going to get a few of those, so like I say, it might be a little bit harder than the way I'm doing it, just because I have some of these things built up. Another thing you can do, though, if you've got some scrap from the daily logins and so on, then what we do is we know that droids like maintenance gifts, so you could make a Jedi Knight who gets T7 as first companion, or there's a couple of companions who like delicacies. Bounty Hunter has Khalil likes delicacies, and Eric Jorgen Trooper likes delicacies. So you could either make a Jedi Knight or a Bounty Hunter or a Trooper. There you go. So that will also kind of make it easier, because that way you can just, if you don't have or if you have Darth Hexid unlocked in your on your account, you can use her as well. She likes delicacies a lot. Finally, if you have any of the cartel coin or the cartel market companions, the ones that you can't send out on missions, those are all either droids, which like maintenance, or they're animals, which like delicacies. So Act Dog and all that, and then the many droids that are on. But not everyone has those, so that's why I mentioned Eric, Jorgen, Khalil, and T7. if you don't have any of those unlocked yet. So that's a possible way too. But really, 25,000 on a day doesn't take very long anyway. Like some days when I didn't have enough credits to use like a stronghold unlock as one of the things to get me to 25,000, I just went back to the main planet and basically like 1 to 1.5 missions basically, and I was like there. Especially once I've given out the gifts and gotten my companion influencer one, because influencer is like 10,000 plus anyway, and then that'll go up as you unlock some of these strongholds.
Interesting. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. So yeah, and then like I say, if you do decide to continue your characters a little bit forward and you get them to the ship, then you'll also be able to take these game modules, turn them into Fae on your ship, and then have more gifts to give out that way. And I would suggest turning in one at a time, because that way you get these blue ones and you get more of them. You could just do one a day, and it stretches that out as long as possible. So in any case, if you get to level 100 on any server, that's in Season 3, that's 2,000 cartel coins, plus a bunch of gold, silver, and bronze packs to open, right. And up to 5 ultimate packs as well. And so the setup, awesome. So the setup takes a little while, but really on the daily thing, it's really not too big a deal. And as it's going on, it's becoming an easier and easier and easier because, nice. You know, like I'm the stronghold bonus is higher. I'm getting, I've got the gifts all set up and everything else. Mm-hmm. So it's not a bad way to go. Or even if you just do the thing where, like Season 2, where you just log in every day, you don't gain any conquest, but you get the login, you're going to gain 2, the equivalent of 2 every week. There's like 19 weeks left or something like that, times 2. So you're going to get up to like level 35, 38, something like that.
Not bad.
Just from doing that. So feel free to use the Season 2 version, or now this is like the juiced up Season 3 version. And it's kind of, it's not bad at all. It doesn't take all that long.
And if you have your ship, you can trick out your ship and do the on-rail missions.
It's true.
Those are really quick, really easy to do at a low level, and you'll get the points that way too.
That's true. And then one out of every 3 weeks, there's also going to be an on-rail ship mission, Galactic Season 1, right, which will give you a few more points as well. Mm-hmm. Cool, and Tsunami Safari does say, things come easy if you join a guild as well. That's true, because you're getting more conquest. Also, sometimes you can get credits. You know, sometimes guildies will have extra credits that they'll give you or whatever, especially nowadays since credits are sort of sloshing around the game, as we all know. And so good stuff. Let's see.
Well, congratulations, Chill. You win a Tonfron or M83.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you have a tip, send it to OotiniKissz@gmail before the next show to chance to potentially win a Tonfon M83R droid pet code or M2B9 droid code courtesy of BioWare, plus a 450 CC code. All good stuff. And thank you to BioWare for all of those things. Let's see. Yep. Let's see. Let's go to the Mind Trap, and the question we had this week, since this was week 1 of Season 3, how are you feeling about the Galactic Season 3 versus previous seasons? Now, I left this a little bit open. I wasn't specifying, how are you feeling about the missions or how are you feeling about the rewards or whatever. So it's a little on the generic side. A real pollster would have to do 10 questions or something. We're not doing that. Right. So how are you feeling about Galactic Season 3 versus previous seasons? So better, about the same, or worse? We had quite a few votes this time. 502 votes, one of the better ones from recent weeks. And thank you everyone for the retweets and so on and the likes. It all helps. The winner was about the same with over 50%, 56.4%. Said that was actually what I voted as well. How about you, Kitty?
I think it's a little better.
Okay, so you're in the better, huh?
Yeah, there's just a couple little tweaks that they've done that I think makes it a little bit more fun, from my opinion. For instance, the little mission that you do to get the new companion. Okay, that's a cool little addition to the mission. To the Season 3. And that they've kind of beefed up some of the the rewards just a little, but I think it's a nice change.
Right. Well, we can. Yeah. Broadly speaking, one of the main differences is there's a lot less cartel coins on the track. There's, instead of 4,000, there is 2,000 now. However, there's a lot more packs of various kinds, including, and there was never any ultimate packs before. That went from 0 to 5, but also the weapon, armor, and decoration packs are something like tripled. There's a lot more of them as well. Plus, like I said, the 5 ultimate packs. And there are still 2,000 cartel coins. So it's not like the cartel coins went away completely, but they are a lot lower. However, in addition to the cartel coins being lower, the unlock costs are now higher as well. I don't know if you noticed, but like if you want to take Faye, if you want to take Faye and unlock her for your other characters, instead of the 10 cartel coins, it's 150. Yeah. Which is still not expensive, but given the fact that we're kind of used to things like this being just 10, it's a huge jump.
It's a huge jump.
To go back to the poll, though, about the same, 56.4%, better, 10.8%, but worse, 32.9%. So about the same did win. However, worse was quite a bit higher than better. What that means exactly is a little bit up to interpretation, of course. I would suggest that some people just didn't like the fact that there were fewer cartel coins. I would guess that's one of the things, as well as at the same time the cost going up for unlocks. And I think I did notice that the mount unlock went up the same as well. I haven't looked at all the mounts, but the one critter one that you can get at level 1, I looked at the unlock, and it's like, oh, that's not 10. Also, that's also 150. So it's so it's a lot more cost if you want to unlock everything. And I would suggest it's probably with that why that's 32% and the better is only 10%. But I would agree that there were some nice little upticks too. Kitty said she likes how the Phalanx companion is inside your ship, so to talk to her and get the little modules turned in is a little bit easier for sure. And I do think the modules don't drop very often for me. Do they drop a lot for you? Because I've hardly gotten any drops.
No.
I'm getting the usual reasonable amount from finishing the daily, finishing the various weeklies, and so on. In Galactic Seasons, but the actual drops are really few and far between.
I've noticed that too, but I wonder if it's a specific NPC that drops them at a higher rate.
Right.
I know that was the way it was last season.
In season 2, if you were on a criminal planet, essentially, and then they had a list of what they considered criminal planets. So it was Nar Shaddaa. It included Terrace, actually, because of all the looting and stuff that's going on there. I think Mekeb was one of them. I can't remember all the others, but yeah, Mekshaw might have been one of them. Anyway, wherever a lot of criminals are, you get a lot more drops as well, regardless of whether the thing you're defeating is actually a criminal or not. You can defeat animals on, some of these planets, and they still drop they used to drop a lot of plans. I'm not sure about the modules. It feels like I've been keeping Faye out as a companion, and I got a few to drop that way, and I haven't gotten any to drop with any other companion out. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. But even then, it's so few that that could be coincidence, and I'm not 100% sure what the dealio is with that. I am hoping that we can kind of figure that out for sure. If you get any drops with someone other than Faye, that would, if someone in chat has experienced that, let me know. Because I'm definitely getting some from finishing the various missions, but as far as the drops, I've only gotten a few with Faye out. So some people, or a lot of people actually did respond. Alex Gislin said, going to be a bit of a long-winded reply. As much as Galactic Season 2, a lot more player with a life and don't feel like grouping up friendly. The companion is interesting, though I wish they'd use a human voice actor instead of reusing Huttese.
Yeah,
that's always nice. It would be nice. Yeah. And while I like that they're allowing players to earn a rep for Galactic Season 2 as well as 3, I don't understand the lack of the reputation vendor. There's no point in finishing the reputation track apart from the legacy titles and the achievement that you can only get during the event. Let's see. Jedi Master Shia Satur said 2 things that make it worse for me. The first is the cost of the unlock of the new companion. And then the second is the cartel packs. I would prefer cartel coins because I always get trash like Life Day trees from packs.
Yeah, I got one recently, actually.
Right.
I totally got one.
Shintar said about the same. Bit disappointed that there don't seem to be more new and varied objectives, but I like the companion and the theme more than previous seasons. Let's see. And Quirkus said, I can't wait for companion customization, and then included a picture of an old Williams pinball machine backing called Machine Bride of Pinbot, and it does look a lot like her.
It does.
And yes, it's very hilarious. So that'll be in the show notes, or you can look up, you can Google the Machine Bride of Pinbot and see what he's talking about. It makes sense though, partly because not only the Iocath droids, but C-3PO, it's all based on classic droid designs that have been Metropolis especially, of course, so it makes sense that Williams also would harken back to Metropolis as well.
Yeah.
Plus of course basically doing like the sexy gal droid thing is a thing, of course, too. Let's see. And the reduced coins means I'm going to only do it on one server, not on 4. Remaining time will be spent outside of SWTOR. Fair enough. Let's see. And the reduction in coins won't curb the inflation. The 2 duplication bugs and the 1 infinite vendor money bug did that. So this is closing the barn door after the horses have bolted. They've done a few things to try to kind of drain some of the money out of the game, but unfortunately there's just a ton of credits in the game now, and
the genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to get it to go away, and we will hopefully at some point they'll have a brainwave and figure out some ways to really get people to drain their credits away, so that it might go back to something like a normal economy, but that's probably not going to be for a while. Maybe it'll never happen. Yeah, possibly, for sure. Let's see, and then about the same. This is my favorite of the 3 companions, and maybe second favorite animal mount from Galactic Seasons. I do like the animal mount is pretty cool too. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Techno one is as well, because I can see it on the preview, but you can't hear it, and I always like to hear it, especially the tech ones. Right. Because if the tech one has like a high whine or something like that as part of their running noise, I can't use them. It gets irritating too fast.
I would love to have a volume slider for mount volume.
That would
because
be cool.
There are some of the mounts that I really, really like, but they're too loud or they're making an annoying noise.
Yeah.
And I just don't use them.
Right. I remember it was like the second ever pod racer in the game. And it was a subscriber benefit like way back in the day. It's the one that it's like kind of hangs down and like has 2, I can't remember the exact name, but it has the 2 engines up above, and then your character sort of hangs down sort of a V shape. And it looks really cool, but it does have a high pitched whine noise while it's running. Yeah. If it's a high pitched whine while it's on the like mounting noise and it goes away, I can usually kind of deal with it, even though I don't really like it. But when it's actually running and it does the no, go away. Those are always off my bar. I just cannot use them.
Yep, me too. It sucks because, like I said, a couple of them I really, really like, and I even bought with cartel coins, and then can't use them because they're too loud.
Right. Yep. And let's see. Let's see what else here. Let's see. And then Andor spoilers. Worse, but not by that much. I'm just not a fan of the Iocath aesthetic. I wish there were more themed decorations in the rewards, and I wish the unlock prices for the collection items were more reasonable. But these aren't deal breakers for me. I'm looking forward to leveling up. Let's see. And then Cal from Today in Tor said Gold Scorpio is pretty rad. And her quest actually took us around places, which is a neat upgrade. I also like the armor sets in the pass and the mounts. Yeah, the armor sets are not bad. They're kind of cool. And the weapons are pretty cool too. Especially the second half weapons have like these bright blue colors on them. And it's definitely like a specific look that isn't gonna be for every character, but they do look cool for what they are.
Yeah.
They remind me a little bit of like sort of nightlife event ones where they're sort of brightly colored.
I can see that too.
They're not quite as fancy as nightlife ones, but they're a little more dialed back, but not much. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so there you go.
Voila.
Yeah, voila. I think that'll bring us to the Holo feed then. And let's see. So 7.1.1 Cartel Market Editions came out. This is shortly after the last show, so we can touch on it real quick. The Sahar Katine's armor set is pretty cool. It's sort of Jedi-ish, but it has, first of all, it has pants instead of a skirt, which is kind of nice. And it sort of has some heavy armor bits, but it's mostly cloth. It's a pretty cool look. It really is nice. And then the weapon is sold separately, but it is available as well. And same with the Reforged Mandalorian Hunter armor set. The weapon is also sold sort of separately. The Reforged Mandalorian armor is really nice too. It's very, very classic Mandalorian. With sort of, it's not quite a T-shaped visor, but it's pretty close. And and it's not. It's got a little bit of a backpack, but it doesn't have too much stuff. Like sometimes like I open up like a heavy armor look, and it's like, oh yeah, classic, trooper armor, or classic Mandalorian armor, or classic Imperial armor, and then I roll it around to the back, and there's this giant backpack that sticks out like 1.5 meters. It's like, wow.
You know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't use this.
It's like you're carrying a produce box around.
Yeah, exactly. I got the ice box. Yeah. It's like some of them, if there's just like a little antenna or something, a couple little, or some sort of little pouch or something, that's one thing. But a lot of them have like these really big things on the back, and I just can't use those. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, Retired Gladiator is all the things. They had, I didn't put the pictures of those in the show notes because they didn't have pictures. They have little videos that don't really translate well to the show notes, but they do look pretty nice. I especially like the Retired Gladiator Assault Cannon because it has this odd but interesting barrel effect. It's kind of like these lines instead of like these red lines towards the end of the barrel, kind of like almost like a warning of that your barrel might be overheating or whatever. You know what I mean? Like sort of like, it was like some sort of HUD sort of thing. It was kind of cool looking though. I kind of dug that. The Collector's Edition vendor access, which we've talked about in previous shows, is now available. And there's a Oriconian Hissis mount, which is practically a dragon. Like for all intents and purposes, you are riding a dragon. It's very, very cool.
Very evil dragon.
Yeah, very, very evil, red dragony with lots of spikes. Yes, exactly.
There's no balloons around when you're riding that thing.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I haven't bought it yet, but I will check that one out.
Yeah,
there's also
the other color. There's a black one, and then this one's red.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's really cool looking, actually.
Yeah,
I really like it.
They also have magenta/white crystals, so they're white on the inside, and then they have a magenta outline. And then there's they gave you like a little preview that like, here's what it looks like normally, and then it shows like a normal like sort of yellow orange lightsaber, and then shows how it changes. Pretty nice look. I always kind of like the lightsaber crystals that have the white in the middle, because a lot of times in the movies, like the middle kind of looks white with like some color on the glow, and so it actually looks pretty movie accurate when you have one like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then they had
especially the Luke blade.
Yeah, the farmhand one or whatever it's called. There's literally a color crystal in the game that's called like farmhands blue color crystal or something like that. It's clearly a Luke reference.
Oh, I thought you were referring to Empire Strikes Back, like with the hand cut off.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No. In the game, look for it. There's one that's called like a farmer's color crystal or something like that, and it's clearly like referencing Luke. There's Hunter's blue and white and blue dye modules, which I think is funny. I'm only mentioning it because in the little preview picture they have this thing with like a mask and then like this helmet thing, and on the white blue one it looks like They're wearing a backward baseball cap, basically, because of the dye. It makes the armor look like it's wearing a backward ball cap. And then there's also the Nar Shaddaa Hollow Signs Deco Bundle, which contains a lot of really like classic ones, like the Twi'lek Dancer ones, the Bith musician ones, all sorts of other like cantina, casino ones and stuff. Yeah, they'll look very, very familiar for people who played the game for sure. All right, so Game 7 Update 7.11 is now live. It's been out for like a week now. And so what happened, we're going to talk about this right now, I guess. Basically, they were supposed to start Galactic Season 3 at the launch of 7.1.1 on Tuesday. Instead, it went out on Thursday. They discovered a bug and basically, apparently the bug was discovered, pretty much as it went live. So they basically just turned that off for a couple of days and said, "Yep, we got to fix this." And then I'm sure they were working their butts off in the background because it wasn't like another week or whatever or the next patch. In 2 days, they had it figured out and they pushed it live. so season 3 did come out 2 days late, but 7.1.1 is live. It also includes Feast of Prosperity 2022, which I haven't touched yet myself in game yet, but it does have Gormon's favorite weapon set now as new rewards, Duba and Gaburga's transport skiffs, and a Feast Hollow toy. So I want to check those out pretty soon, but I haven't done that yet. Have you done any Feast of Prosperity this year, Kitty?
No. It just dropped today, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I haven't had time.
Right. The Gormon's favorite weapon set, I'm looking at the pictures of it. Pretty nice and sort of classic looking weapons, but nice looking. I think I might want to check some of these out. They're sort of modern style too. They're some of them are a little more forwardy looking. Some of them look more like they could exist in like on Earth. These are sort of like the kinds that, well, not the lightsabers, but the guns at least, looks like they might exist on Earth. They're sort of like semi-modern rifles and stuff. Good stuff. And I do like the pictures of the two skiffs, and they're very, very different from each other, which I think is cool.
I like the one with looks like a banana peel.
Yeah, on top.
Yeah.
And then the other one has like a bunch of holes on it, like it's like a little messed up. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but it's kind of cool looking. Yeah. And then the Feast Hollow toy, which basically looks like it throws down a little hologram of like all the foods and stuff that are in the game, that you prepare in the game. Sounds pretty cool. And then let's see. So Galactic Season 3 Luck of the Draw, and then balance changes, which we've talked about in previous ones, but remember, as a reminder, it includes 2 new tacticals. PowerTech Advanced Prototype / Vanguard Tactics have Powered Detonator, which is for burst, and Sith Sorceress Madness / Jedi Sage / Balance. Balance spec is Killing Field, which is an AoE tactical. So there's a couple new tacticals in the game.
Nice.
There's more daily resource matrices from several sources.
Woo!
Yep.
I hit cap. Last week I hit cap on it.
Oh, wow. Can you do anything with them right now? I mean, assuming you don't want to like gear up an alt or something.
Well, this is before I actually figured out the mission where I was able to now I can just buy the 330 gear.
Right. So you were doing that, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, some of the stuff I need to level up, like the earpieces, the
relics and implants.
Yeah, the relics and all that stuff. So I still use it.
So they're still going to be using some of that. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Let's see. The additional options to Outfitter, which I know you're excited about. You can unlock up to 32 slots, and also you can now name and favorite your outfits. Have you done? I assume you've done some of that.
Yeah. The only thing that I wish they would change was there's not enough characters when you're naming your outfits.
Oh.
You can't even name the outfit what it's called. on, like the actual name of
like
it.
if it was the actual name.
Yeah.
Right.
And
like Darth Scions, whatever. Yeah.
Or even, what is it? The unlikely hero.
Right.
I don't
even that's too long.
Unlikely hero.
Right.
I just wish that they would make it
unlikely.
Unlikely.
Just take out all the vowels.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, the unlicky Hyro. Right, there we go.
Unlikely Hyro.
Let's see. Have you unlocked the all 32?
No. I'm gonna wait and see if there's a sale. Okay. Because that's expensive.
Right.
I did notice that I think that because I had 16 unlocked, and I'm not exactly how many, but I know that I have well over 16 slots available.
Right.
So I think they did drop a couple more slots on at least, sub
for
players.
Subs or something.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense because I notice I don't have all 16 from before, but I have 12, and that feels like more than I actually ever unlocked with cartel coins. So I think they did like throw subscribers like a few slots at some point, maybe 4 or so, if I had to guess. Let's see. Manon daily area is now the daily area is now an invadable planet for conquests. New conquest objectives have also been added to the Manon invasion area, and you can do that. And then the collector's edition vendor, which we've talked about before. So yeah, Galactic Season 3 Luck of the Draw is now live. We've talked about this a lot already. Let's see if there's anything in here that we really haven't talked about yet. Most of it we actually have. Let's see.
Look at the draw.
Players who wish to increase their chances of receiving game analysis modules from defeated enemies can turn in Jawa junk to an informative Jawa in the Cartel Bazaar on the fleet.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, and they did that in Season 2 as well. Season 2, I didn't feel it was necessary. It was dropping plenty for me. This time, I might end up having to do that at some point because holy cow, there's not a lot of drops. I'm not sure if it'll... In fact, it's so few drops that if it only doubles the chance, it might not be worth getting the bonus. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, no, you're right. Exactly. 100%.
It's like from squat to squat and a half is, doesn't feel like that much of a bump.
Oh, I misunderstood that. That's for the buff. I thought that you could actually trade Jawa junk for...
Oh, for modules? That would be cool, but no, you turn it in for that buff that you get, so you get more drops, but we're getting so few drops that I don't think doubling it is going to make all that much of a help, personally.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna rely. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm gonna rely on the finishing dailies and weeklies and all that for the most part. Too. And then let's see, new companion. So then they kind of write out like the free ones versus the ones that subs will get. But even if you're free to play, you can get 2 classic bronze weapon crates, 2 bronze armor crates, 2 bronze mount crates, 1 silver weapon crate, 1 silver armor crate, 1 silver mount crate, 2 deco silver crates, 2 deco gold crates, and a bunch of other stuff too. So there's some decos. There's
some of the decos are really cool too.
Yeah, a unique Zerka special weapon set inspired by Galactic Gaming, and a few other things too. Stronghold label of Game Room I think is hilarious too. Yeah, I kind of love that. Tech fragments, medals of calm, 10 legendary embers. Some other stuff like that too. So that's all free to play too. You don't have to be a sub to get all those things. But if you're a subscriber, you can get all those plus some dark green and deep brown dyes, some dark gray and pale yellow dyes, some light yellow and deep yellow dyes, a bunch of game analysis modules over the course of the things, 2,000 cartel coins, and like we said, 5 ultimate cartel packs, legacy bound. So you pretty much have to open them yourself. There's nothing else you can do with them if they're legacy bound. But hey, this is in addition to the other ones you would get. one bronze weapon crate, one bronze armor crate, one bronze deco crate, one silver weapon crate, one silver armor crate, one silver mount crate, one silver deco, one silver and one gold deco, which is pretty cool. And I think I don't remember in season 2. I don't remember like silver mount crates. I just remember the bronze ones. So that I think that one is completely. Yeah, I think they added that one, which I like a lot because that's actually one of the things that I'm doing. I'm trying to get to 100 on all the 5 servers for. Beyond the fact, for one thing, that the cartel coins are all backloaded. Like the last 5 levels have not quite most, but 800 out of the 2,000 cartel coins are on the last page. 96 through 100. Yeah, but also like if I have a crate and I unlock it, and I find something I like, then what I can do is I can put it on that character, unlock it, and then use cartel coins to unlock it on my main server. So that's another reason why I'm doing this on the other servers. That's a good idea. Because it's a lot of bites at the apple. It's like, oh, okay, because I can't really necessarily do a ton with it, but as far, because I'm not playing seriously enough on those servers to actually do much with it. But if I just unlock it, then I can use cartel coins to unlock it on other servers, especially when there's a sale or whatever. And let's see, the Galactic Seasons vendors, they also talked about it a little bit as well, because like some of the variations on the mount are available there at a cost of 2 Vicious Roe-Deer, Violent Roe-Deer. Those are 2 each. But then there's credit manipulation discs, the customizations for Fae or Phalanx is sort of how it looks, and apparently that's how our last owner, or last controller or whatever, used to call her Phalanx, but she likes to go by Fae, so we'll call her Fae. But yeah, if you preview those, you'll see they have different effects in her belly area.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Tummies.
Yep, and then they have the Vigorous Roe-Deer is also available from the other vendor. And then like all tours, this is from like last season, like the weapons are available right now, as well as like the albino, arid, and subterranean Tythic, which is like that birdish like mount from season 2.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And let's see. Season, and then they do also, and these are somewhat similar, like the weeklies. They have 3 different sets of weeklies. So we've seen the 1 week, and now we're on week 2 of all these. There is March Across the Galaxy every week. Like all 3 of these weeks includes March Across the Galaxy, which means, on these other servers that I'm logging on to, if I'm doing 25,000 or have 25,000 a day times 7, you're basically at 2,000 right there, or 200,000 right there. It's pretty easy to get to stretch a tiny bit and make sure you get the March Across the Galaxy. So that's not a problem at all. But that's available every week, so makes it easy if you're doing some of these off server ones like I'm doing.
Right.
So yeah, so that's what I noticed. And this time though, I also noticed there's one for obtaining game analysis modules. Since the drops are so light, I looked ahead though, and it's like I'm going to be able to get this one done just from doing my other stuff. So that's not going to be an issue.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, it's not going to be bad at all to get. Let's see. I also did True Purpose just for fun. I had Phalanx out as my active companion, and I just, I just defeated 100 enemies. It's really not that difficult.
Yeah, I didn't see that one until after I was done running a daily. Damn it.
This is also the week.
It is a weekly, so.
Yeah, this is also the week with This Will Do Nicely. Affect enemies with destructible pipes, tanks, canisters, and capacitors. And as we learned last time, one of the little tricks you can do is if you find a nice area with a bunch of them that won't leash, but you find like a little explosive, you can actually like drag them all to it and then have them all be affected by it at once, and you can pretty much get this right away. If not, you just do it when you see them and it'll work out. I'm pretty sure most people, if they're daily players, are going to get This Will Do Nicely regardless, like without by accident almost, which is fine. Let's see. Last week was like the on-rail space missions. This one doesn't have that. It has some like GSN's, Galactic's, GSF stuff. Let's see, Warzone medals as well. Let's see. Yep. And then week 3 again, March Across the Galaxy, and then we'll see how that one goes. Did you do the catch cheaters one?
I did.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. The tricky part was finding enough of them. There's been I've seen a number of posts on Twitter and so on where it's like people are saying it's like, because it's like there's not a lot of them, and if someone else is like getting it at the same time you are, it's like you end up kind of fighting over it.
Yeah, it's
because it's like whoever finishes their cast first,
and they're on a 5-minute timer, which is brutal.
Right.
It would be nice to see those go into like maybe a 1-minute timer.
Yeah, Switcherista has a little list of planets that have at least one of them. I would say if you wanted a second tip of the week, the best luck I had was going to Tatooine, because there's downstairs there's 2, and then upstairs there's 2, and so you can actually get 4 in one area essentially. And
tip of the week,
secondary tip of the week: go to the PvP node. Because there's very few people on the PvP nodes.
Go to the cantina, or no, what? The casino on Nar Shaddaa. Go up the stairs until you get to the room with all the gaming tables.
Okay.
There's multiple spots. There's 4 different spots, and they each have 2 to 3 NPC spawns.
Nice.
On each of those little rooms.
I checked that out, and there must have, it was pretty early in the week, so I think a lot of people were doing the same thing. So I think I just think I must have just like not been able to get a spot where like anyone was available, because I didn't spot any that were there ready to go. So that makes sense, though. They would have a big one sort of at the what you would think of as sort of the main casino in the game.
Yeah, and it's tough because it's a 5-minute cooldown timer.
It is.
You
That's
don't
a long
know
time.
if somebody just left or if it's going to spawn in a minute.
Yep.
So
So Tatooine you can get 4, and I would say though if you just wait until because like I said, I was doing this like right after it became available on Thursdays. Like tons of people, even on like Tatooine PvP node, I found a few people like there occasionally. I'll bet you though, if you just wait a couple of days, for like the real hardcore people to sort of flesh themselves out, you're going to be fine if you just go to Tatooine PvP node or not. Or like I said, the one on Nar Shaddaa, the casino on Nar Shaddaa. I think you'll be fine.
I remember I did a bunch of them on Alderaan on Pubside, and then also on Tatooine on Pubside.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of funny to see people just running in looking for
the guys,
the mission, and everybody would do the same loop, but it would be a different person.
Right.
And then I'd be moving over to catch the spawns so I could catch the cheaters.
Right.
And it'd just be the same thing.
And of course, there's one cast that you need, the red one, and then there's like 3 casts that you don't need. There's
your token.
Yeah, there's caching. Right. There's counting your chips, placing your bets, and I can't remember the name of the third one, but it was also sort of like that. Oh, I also noticed that. Wow, I'm sure everyone noticed this. Faye's everything she says is gaming related. Like every last line she says has a gaming / winning / gambling pun in it somewhere.
That's
including when you send her out to crew skill mission, when she comes back, when you put her on passive. All kinds.
Check that out.
Everything's a casino pun with her.
So this is another tip. If you guys are going to be running the Catch a Cheater, go ahead and put on Yakety Sax or the Benny, which is the Benny Hill theme
Benny
song.
Hill theme song, right?
So when people come running around, you can kind of get a little chuckle out of it.
Yep. And one other thing that we haven't talked about, but they did mention in this is I got Faye to rank 50 influence on my main character, but how about leveling her on other characters?
Did?
No, this is what someone's asking them and they're answering it. This is like an asked and answered sort of thing. If you're a subscriber, you'll be able to earn 2 Zerka Corporation compendiums through the subscriber reward track. Like a commander's compendium, this can be used to instantly raise Faye's influence to rank 50. Additionally, once you have reached rank 50 influence with Faye, you'll unlock a new legacy unlock that allows you to purchase companion gifts with credits. So either way, but yes, I noticed that it's towards the end of the track. I think it's somewhere around the 90 to 95 level, something like that. Or it could be on the very last one. Maybe it's like 99 or something like that.
It was last year. It was on the last one.
And this, I don't think there was one last time, but on this one, you'll get 2 compendiums. So once you get 1 character Faye up to 50, and then you can take 2 other characters Faye's and immediately bump them to 50. So that'll be good.
Last season they did a BioWare, there was some sort of hiccup, and it made it so that you wouldn't be able to get enough companion gifts to get your new companion up to 50. So they introduced those instant 50 last year. So it looks like they're doing that again, just kind of out of a if anything happens,
I think for one thing, like if you put some of the gifts on one Faye and go to another character and put some of the gifts towards her, you just won't get there. You can easily not be able to get there. So that's the other tip is definitely figure out whoever the first gift you give to, you got to give them all to that Faye for sure. Like otherwise it's really hard, or you're just gonna have to buy one of those things. It's really annoying.
A great way to do that is you can unlock Faye as soon as you get her for your account. Don't do that. Don't do it.
If you're worried about that.
If you're anything like me, I have to have just one of them, and that way I know exactly which one to give all the gifts to. Right. Because sometimes I get confused.
Yeah. And I did unlock her because that works even for those other servers that I don't play much on. Right. Yeah, that way I have Faye for her, and then when a gift unlocks out of the Galactic Seasons, I just give that to her as my gift influencer for that day. Easy peasy. And also if I eventually get to those characters to their ship, then I'll also be able to jump onto the ship and get turn in the matrices and get gifts that way. Get the reputation items. And reputation item gains are a big conquest point gainer as well.
Question: are the Faye's companion gifts, are those legacy bound?
Yes.
Okay, good.
However, the reputation items, like last season, I believe those are based on the character. Gotcha. So if you go to your ship and you turn in the matrix thing and you get a reputation item, those are going to be bound to that character.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's like last season. I didn't notice any change to that. So, yeah, because I actually made a mistake on. I got a bunch of them, planning to then spread them out, and it's like, oh crap, these are all bound to this character now. So, yeah, so that character has a ton of those season 2 ones still, but that's all right. And let's see. We've already done all that stuff before. Yeah, so... All right, so finally, a couple other little things, little news items that happened. So the updated non-Steam loading program has now been, the updated version has now gone out to everyone. I happen to be one of the people who got it relatively early as sort of their beta process. I didn't notice any problems with it personally, but then there's a whole thing on it. I've put it in the show notes, but you can also find it on SWTOR.com. So if you do happen to find any issues with your program, then it gives you a bunch of options about how to fix them and so on. For example, if nothing happens when you click on play, or the play button is grayed out, that often means that an external application, especially an antivirus, is stopping the launcher from running the SWTOR game client, and then it gives you options of things to do to sort of clear that issue. So I don't think I haven't heard tons of people saying that they've been having issues, but if you are, there is in our show notes, or you can go to SWTOR.com, and there is like a whole thing that they've made to sort of give you different workarounds and ways to fix, and or things that are going on. Finally, 7.1.1 known issues. I had to include this one. This is kind of funny. Lady Dominique uses Force Blast to wipe groups in R4 anomaly operation. Yeah. And so Therese apparently has been having problems with this because...
Ouch!
Yeah, you go in and you're on Lady Dominique and she one-shots the whole group. And apparently, though, people who have like ability... reflex can actually survive it, but like anyone else is going to die. So that is one that they are clearly going to be working on hard and fast. That's just one of those, because that just completely makes that operation unplayable. So yeah. Whoops. And I remember that they were doing various sorts of balances and stuff to R4, actually in an effort, ironically, to make it easier, because it was considered relatively difficult in many, for most groups. So now there's a one-shotter. I don't know if it happens every time, but apparently happens quite often, or often enough that it's probably going to happen to you if you do this right now. Apparently, that's how I understand how often it happens. So, but I haven't actually had the pleasure myself. Anyway,
in my head, I like to think when they're balancing stuff out, they have soundboard faders and knobs that they use to do it. And that one, there's just like, achoo. Oh, okay, we're done. Didn't realize they set it up to 100.
Right. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a head scratcher too. Okay, what did we do? What
happened?
What happened?
What happened?
It's someone who was standing in. Wait, was there something?
Who set her to insta-gib?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, all right, Kitty. And do you have? Is there any? So tomorrow actually is going to be your first stream with the new setup, right?
That's right.
That is the plan.
Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be the new restarting of our 3 PC stream setup. So
that's cool.
Come by and see me go. Okay, wait. Where does that? Okay, hold on. I need to fix that and this and that, but. That's just kind of working out the bugs is the way it has to be. So it'll be fun. But
that'll be fun. Yeah.
Also, wait, is it Sunday? Let me check
this coming here. Sunday.
Yeah, this coming Sunday, Kitty and I are going to do our Halloween stream.
Oh, fun!
And we're gonna dress up. So if you want to dress up and come play with us. Feel free.
Excellent.
That includes you, Chill.
All right. And that, of course, that's twitch.tv/KittyKissz, KISSZ. And I think that's a show. If you'd like to play with us on the Utini Knights Guild on the Republic side of the TL Sean server, or in our
Utini Rage
Guild on the Empire side, do a /C join Utini to join the Utini channel, then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email questions and comments about the show to utinicast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using @UtiniCast. You can find contact details on our website, utinicast.com, which includes how to subscribe using iTunes, Stitcher, and the rest. We record the show live bi-weekly on Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, by streaming at twitch.tv/UtiniCast. Our theme song is Doomsday by Jean-Paul Zogby. And thank you to the chat room.
Thank you, chat.
And hi, Marcus. I saw Marcus come in. Yes,
hi, Marcus.
And apparently he said Galactic Seasons is so easy. Day 1, level 100. So he's a cartel coin unlocker for sure. Because there's no other way to do that. All right. And we'll see you next show.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
are we going to raid somebody?
Yep. We can do a raid now.
Let me looky.
Okay.
Seen folks that
bring up the creator dashboard. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for being here, you guys.
Let's see. Stream manager.
How about...
Is anyone suggesting anyone yet?
Let's see.
How about Exus?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
She's doing an Opal Mount giveaway. And
Cool.
we forgot to do ours, so...
That's right. We did like a bunch of them like 2 ago, and then we did a bunch of pets last week. We'll get back to that, but let's go say hi to Exus. Thanks for coming. And yeah, so that sounds like fun. I know you already do so much dressing up anyway. It's going to be fun to do that Halloween bit.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Also stopping the stream. Stopping.